Welcome back, everybody, to the UMG Gaming Studios for the Gears Challenger Series Split 2, Phase 1, Week 2. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Colin the Crow Clark. Amen Grand Finals, they're here. It's going to be a fun one. Marz versus Double R. Now, these two teams have fought tooth and nail to make it to this point. For Double R, you got returning champs. Grand Finals, second Monday in a row. And, man, they're looking really good. But for Marz, though, there's a lot, I think, to take away from that Carnage Gaming matchup. Now, I don't know if that shows Carnage Gaming played really strong, and Marz, kind of was neck and neck with them, besides Harbor, respectfully, let me say that. But do you think Papa Chalky Milk, that the victory for Double R, do you think that carries a little bit more weight, or do you think the Carnage Gaming victory, the Marz victory over Carnage Gaming carries more weight?
God, you put me on the spot with that one. I think the one that carries more weight to me is RR's over Papa Chalky Milk. It's one thing. It's one thing. So how do I put? I'm trying to think of how I should word this. Marz made one team change. They went up against a very stout team. They end up coming out on top. They do have, though, two players that have been in very, very high caliber major situations in our majors and our pro league. They have that kind of veteran leadership, and they have four very talented players. The fact that I got to see so much improvement of Papa Chalky Milk from last week to this week, I got to see a lot of growth out of them, and I'm going to probably continue to see a lot of growth out of them as long as they stick it out and continue to work on the things that ended up biting them in the butt against RR.
That's right.
That's what stands out to me is RR took a good shot on the chin. I would much rather always see a team face adversity and overcome it, whereas I felt like Marz kind of always had that matchup. Every time on Vascar, they needed to win a fight. They won it. District, every time they won a round, it was on a mistake by Carnage Gaming. But when they got basically punching them out there in that second map, it wasn't like a haymaker. It was kind of like a jab, creating a little distance going into map 3. And then we saw what Harbor was able to do. It wasn't like it was ever really out of their control. RR found themselves with a haymaker shot after map number 1, because I don't expect, and I don't think anybody really saw Papa Chalky Milk coming out and doing what they did in map 1. So I was very excited for that. So I think that's what says more to me, is the fact that the resiliency for RR is there right now.
I'm actually, pretty surprised that you said that. I thought for sure you were going to say Marz's victory over Carnage Gaming carries more weight. And I guess I'm kind of going back, I'm thinking about that roster, right? I'm thinking about the members of, Crystallize, Altens, B-God, and Solar. Like, those four on paper are fantastic. Carnage Gaming, obviously, is Carnage Gaming. You think about that name and how well they did in the previous split 1. But again, it's not the same roster. It's not the same team. Like you mentioned, they imploded. They lost their Pro League spot. That's why they're fighting for a Pro League spot once again. But you bring up great points. I love the fact that you highlighted the fact that Papa Chalky Milk improved so much from last Monday to this Monday, but still to fall short to the roster of RR, who maybe fell down in Harbor 5-3, but it was an impressive victory, 5-1 and then 5-1, only dropping 2 rounds in the next 2 maps. We're talking about Asylum and Foundation. So that speaks volumes about this roster. And again, I go back to our initial discussion that we had about RR, and that was the fact that you can highlight literally every single member on that roster, right? You can talk about Toxiq, Nero, Rapidz, and Maniik. They all had their moments. And when their moments came, they rose up to the top, they handled their business, and they did it pretty much flawlessly. I love the fact RR is a well-rounded team. They team fire, wolf packing, up close and personal fights. They're able to do it all and capitalize. And more importantly, too, you even look at that Asylum matchup, the fact that they were able to reallocate forces, pull those audibles, like that speaks volumes about this roster to be able. I don't know who the IGL is for that roster. I guess you can speculate, but like they are seriously making some great play calls, good audibles throughout their matches, and they're impressive. They really are. Marz getting that victory over CG, it is great. It's impressive too. The 5-0 Harbor was amazing, but Carnage Gaming dropped the ball on that map, hands down, period. They look sloppy. And again, like you mentioned, because that Vascar map, Carnage Gaming, they were making mistakes. Because they were making mistakes, Marz, they were taking it to the bank. Any team can do that, right? It's about if the other team isn't making mistakes, can you still get the victory? RR, I could see your logic now. I really could. I was surprised at first, but walking through it, I understand it now.
Hey, look, I'm not just an ugly face, okay? I got some brains every now and again, man.
Not ugly at all, man.
I can think my way out of a wet paper bag every now and again, brother. I might be backed into a corner, but I come out swinging on that paper bag any day of the week and twice on Sunday. But hey, look, I said before the break, the thing that I think everybody needs to see before they can really make some educated guesses about this matchup is what the pick and the bands were. And Taylor, I know you probably got a little throw for me, don't you?
Harbor, Asylum, and Training Grounds. I don't know how many teams are going to allow Double R to get Asylum. Like it just comes to show you, look, if you give them Asylum, it's pretty much a guaranteed map. It's a shoo-in. It's almost like giving E United Exhibit, right? You just don't do that. Granted, there's a lot of teams that can now challenge E United, but again, on the map of Exhibit, it's just tough. Same thing here. Don't give Double R Asylum. Get it out of the way. I'm actually surprised Double R ended up banning Vaskar, but then again, I thought about it and I was kind of looking through my notes before we went live for Grand Finals. I haven't watched Double R play Vaskar, at least as of yet. So maybe I guess I got to go deeper into like the Pro League qualifier notes, but I don't know how good they are in Vaskar, so I guess it makes sense to get that out of the way.
You want to know what the first thing that stands out to me when I look at no, not even like I see the maps. Like the thing that about the maps that were ended up picked by Marz, because Marz technically pick map 1 and 3 because they pick Harbor and then they ban out Foundation to have Training Grounds be our last map. You know what stands out to me at both of those maps? They are both long shot maps. There is a high percentage chance from the amount of times that we've seen them played in Split 2 that you'll see a long shot top stern, and then when you go over to Training Grounds, you see a long shot at either the U. You'll probably see a long shot at the U to be fought over. That to me tells me that there's probably a backup plan for Marz. If we start losing and we got to make a team fight happen, drop the long shot. And they've got a couple of guys on that squad that can use it to pretty much perfection. So I look at both of these maps, and that's what I think stands out to me is it seems like there's probably an ulterior motive, a little plan in the back pocket they might be able to pull out and use against their opponents.
I am actually really happy that we're seeing Harbor map #1 because this was such a big talking point, at least for myself. I want to know who's better on this map, and I want to see if what I said, kind of stands the test of time. Marz gets the 5-0 victory over Carnage Gaming, but I still said Double R would win if this map was chosen because they play it better, despite them losing earlier to Papa Chalky Milk. We'll get to see if that comes to fruition. Off the break, though, Rocky looking to even up the odds. It was a great start for Double R, but Rocky right there takes down Maniik, goes in for the second. Great shot onto Nero. Nero's going to fight back. Now what are you going to do, Rocky? You're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and it looks like Nero's going to take him down. But for a little bit, I'm not going to lie, Rocky was looking like Superman.
I mean, he did a perfect job of staying alive in that fight. Much longer than he would have ever expected to be going into it. They're going to get the decap here at the B Hill. They need to rotate out before they end up getting lancered out from that mid-winch, but the initial will probably go the way of RR. It's going to say that in the stat board, most likely, or the stat sheet when I make it up later tonight, but they need to get 1 or 2 of these kills. Maniik, they can't allow him to get a couple of kills like he did in his last matchup, and they don't. They end up taking him out, and it allows them to put the pressure across the 50. And you see, that's what I'm talking about. Earlier in the night when I was talking about Papa Chalky Milk not being able to pressure, they pressured across the map toward the home hill of RR, and it takes them out of position and now gives them the opportunity to cap B, but it just wasn't enough pressure for them to get that cap off. So now they got to get another set of slays to be able to try to get that mid-neutral hill.
Zoom wants to get on B so much, but he also has to worry about Nero with the Lancer, and that's going to take him down. With Player 9 coming in, I think this is where they're going to make the break for it. Player 9 might be able to, maybe not. I think they're just going to commit for the overextension. That's exactly what they're going to do. Player 5 goes down. That is a great trade. Despite, one of those players from Marz dropping off, still, they're able to push in. being messed around with B is finally getting capped. That was one of the longest initials in Harbor I've seen in quite some time. But Marz is going to end up ahead. I say that, then player 2 finds an opportunity. Now, if he wins this 1v1 against, Abolics, hey, man, Double R is going to be in a great spot, but he can't stay there. He knows this. So the attention, again, has to be put on Bravo.
The Toxiq backside of the home hill of Marz. He's going to throw that flash down. He's going to have help from the stern, but there's the down. They're going to be able to clean him up. They might just bleed him out, which is what they are, in fact, doing. Goes ahead, bleeds out now, and you see him pushing back against the tide down here at the B hill, and Again, like you talked about, the retake pressure from Marz has been pretty good this first round. You can see them already going up and trying to get that kill. Now they have one more to worry about down here. They're not going to get that kill just yet. They're pressuring up onto the home hill of RR as well. Almost got the decap, but not in time. Dakota will actually pull back, pull the Lancer, get some help from Zoom. They get the down. Now they're going to go for that decap, and the triple cap domination will start to tick out here soon. I believe you're going to get a touch at least. Yeah, they're going to get up into the hill, but the 2-to-1 hill advantage and how far the round has progressed at this point, this is without a doubt to me screaming a Marz round number 1.
Toxiq gets rid of the meat shield. Can't push up just yet. And like you said, Marz will in fact take this round. Well done from them to be able to secure it. Very long initial. Both teams just trying to fight for control on Bravo. You had a player 4, I believe that was Rocky, was just, trying to, or excuse me, I believe that was Nero, who was trying to Lancer out from the neutral position. That was kind of keeping, who was it? I think Zoom and Co at bay, but eventually they were able to push in, take over Bravo, and go for the overextension. It was a very unique fight, because typically it's not so standard for that overextension to take place while giving up the neutral. But it was the only move that Marz had, and they took it, and they managed to capitalize. So well done. Back to the drawing board we go for Double R, and they are going to have that C spawn, and typically more teams are successful with the C spawn as opposed to the road spawn. So we'll see if that benefits them at all. See how this winch fight goes down.
And one of the reasons for that success, by the way, is that right-hand advantage there at the mid-winch fight. You see Maniik actually pushing across. He's got a Lancer angle. He's going to miss the shot, though, and he almost goes down. Good thing his teammate's right there, but here comes the flank. Morality gets the shot on. He's going to be able to save his teammate. Picture-perfect job by Marz in this initial to get those 2 kills. They're going to be able to trade that out, and now they'll be able to pressure down to the bottom side of the map. Absolutely picture-perfect start for them in this round number 2.
Whew, I might be eating my words here, man. Look, I said Marz probably going to get outclassed on Harbor versus Double R, but like I said, I might be eating a bit of humble pie at this point because Marz is playing flawlessly, looking so good. Maniik, not a lot he can do, just trying to dance around, stay up, but I mean, he's stuck in a corner. What are you going to do? Rapidz going to try and push in. No heroics for him, though. He's going to fall short. Player 4 last up. He's gone, and that's it. Marz takes it 2-0. Much quicker round than the first. 1 minute and 2 seconds.
That's a great job in that second round by Marz. Again, just the trade out there where you saw the flank come through, the extra shot in, getting that double down. I mean, it was in the nick of time, a second too late, and that would have probably just been trades where 2 would have died and 1 would have died, so it would have been a 2-1 instead of a 2-0 trade, and you wouldn't have been able to pressure for that triple cap domination. So fantastic job. Now switched up Dakota. There's that Talon pistol. We're probably going to see the same thing. Talons and Boltox both side. Not much difference right now. I'd like to see RR change up the fight here sooner, much rather than later, if they're going to continue to lose these rounds and these initials in this way.
All right. So no long shot yet. Of course, it might come next round. At this point, you can't fall behind a Talon or a Boltox, right? They're just too instrumental in success. Very curious to see how that 1v1 goes, whether it be Zoom or Rapidz taking it over. Zoom's been playing really well, so Rapidz might have his hands full. For Morality, that's going to be a bit of a misstep, but it's only going to set him back a little bit. He's still going to be able to transfer down and maybe challenge over onto Nero, and that challenge will come very quickly. Nero better be ready for this. Good patience. Morality wants to push it, but he's just going to break off. Great movement. Now gets away. Now it's Nero who has to push around the corner. Morality can also go in for the decap on Charlie, so good stuff from him. Off the start, though, Double R does have the neutral. Morality's just being a nuisance. Nero's just trying to find any angle he can to take him down, but he just can't get it.
And that's what I was talking about earlier, when they couldn't push down to bottom winch. Did you see how Morality kept, every time Nero pushed out of Morality, would hit that opposite corner back A?
Right, yeah.
A lot of excess damage, and this is the answer RR needed. They've got the chance to triple cap dominate right now. They're going to threaten up, and they're on it. That's all she wrote. Marz will finally drop a round in this map number 1, and that just boils down to a much better initial. There's shotgun fights going in the favor of RR, and it was a beautiful job. They didn't even allow the strength of Marz, which is their extra rotation, the extra Lancer, extra shotgun into the fight, come through and work out for them in that round, which is what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to keep them off kilter, off the back foot, if you like to say.
You know what I like? Something I just noticed for Nero. He's at 5 assists, 0 kills, and it's really is polar opposite of what we see from him on Asylum, where he's picking up pretty much one of the dominant slayers for the roster. I like the fact that he can kind of play that flex role And you know, he can play an assist. He can play the support role. He can also play one of the most dominant slayers on the roster. So that's a valuable teammate to have. Of course, Nero, man, he's just amazing all around. We've been watching him play now for multiple seasons and splits. Up top fight, though, Nero will fall. And it's going to be Abolics taking him out, and Toxiq as well. This is a great start for Marz, and I don't think they're going to slow down. They're going in for the domination. This 1v1, though, Rapidz has to hold his own here, but he's about to get flanked by Abolics.
Rapidz is going to realize that. He tries to turn, goes for that little L trigger. It's not going to be near enough damage. Great job on to get shots out. Nero's going to be off spawn. 3 of them are, and it looks like Marz is going to have to set up now for a defensive stand. I don't think they're going to be able to pressure up. They're going to try to get this down on Nero, who has the retro. They're trying to get the retro off the map, and they almost do it, but, I mean, just sacrificing himself to the gods' morality, said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to try to get this retro out of here. He ends up paying with his life, and now it's 4 versus 3 on the map in favor of RR, and if I'm RR, I'm pushing out quick, but Dakota, hello? Hello?
Take that to the bank all day, baby. Maniik falls. And now Seven's going to once again go on the flank. I don't think Rapidz is going to be picking up on this, though. They're so concerned with up top. And also, you have the Lancer fire coming out from Morality from the neutral. Like, you're just not getting out of that. Well played. Good teamwork all around for Marz. Nero, Maniik, nowhere you can go. I don't think Marz, he obviously locks in the home hill yet. They're not going to go for the domination, but that lead they're going to accumulate before RR finally gets enough manpower to go for a decent push. It's going to be pretty substantial.
Now you see Morality trying to slide into that cover and then work his way across that barricade, but it will not be enough as back A won't be strong enough to get enough damage to get the down or the out there. They end up finishing him off. Good job there to keep the pressure on. RR is going for this 2-to-1 hill advantage. Here momentarily, Toxiq walking back and forth, flashes out, goes to the back A, hasn't been able to find anything just yet. Good shot onto that mid-cover fight, though. And now they can pressure up. Now that they've got this extra damage and they got the 2-to-1 shotgun advantage, they've got the easy double kill. Toxiq, though, is not slowed down. He tried to rotate very quickly, but Zoom, a lot of pressure back with a snub, maybe even one shot over that cover. Beautiful job there to pressure them off back off there, excuse me, to hold up against them at their home hill. 40 seconds and Marz will be up 3-1, so they gotta get a decap here, ladies and gentlemen. They aren't gonna be able to sit back and hold the 2-to-1 and just relax.
I'm looking at Morality. He's going to be able to Lancer out, but he has an opportunity to maybe challenge 3. He's going to do just that. And it really depends on how this fight goes, right? If Marz holds their own, they drop these players from RR trying to go for the overextension. There's no reason for him to put his life out there. And it looks like they might be okay. 4 now having to get desperate. He's going to split from the pack, Lancered out. Great job from Zoom to pick that up. And player 8 is going to go over. He's going to win the 1v1 against player 3 just for good measure. They didn't even need it. And Marz will take over the victory. Well done once again. Great communication. Locking down the angles, fighting for each other, good Lancer fire. And you know, that's something they were lacking in that Carnage gaming matchup. So it's nice to see that, you know, maybe it was just a fluky round, you know, maybe they're just getting the legs underneath them, because it really is night and day for Marz, you know, on Harbor versus, you know, in my opinion, a stronger team than Carnage gaming of RR than previously.
It's all about what weapon you need at what time. Look, if you have a Master Swordsman, but he's using a bow staff, he's going to look a little rusty. He's not going to look exactly like he's knowing what he's doing. Marz, they looked a little out of sorts, and that's because they tried to go against Carnage Gaming with their own game plan on Harbor. They ended up winning more fights, which is what won them the map, but it was so much messier than this was. Whereas you see the rounds that Marz is winning, they went back to their bread and butter. They pulled the katana back out as that Master Swordsman and said, let's go ahead, let's get the angles, let's get the extra man in the fights, and it's what won them Bhaskar so quickly and so cleanly.
There's no lone shot. We're still going to see the battle take place like it has been. Toxiq's going to be leading the forefront. Gets Morality on the other side. Maniik falls. It's going to put Toxiq in a hard position. I don't think he gets out of this. He's going to be getting peppered from a lot of different angles. He can't confidently push up yet either. And Nero falling up ahead, not getting the finish on Abolics also hurts as well. So another great start for Marz. It seems as if their initials have been looking flawless, and R has been struggling to act against them in really any way that they try. Marz isn't going to overcommit here. They're setting up defensively, and R, they're going to have to figure out how to push through. It's just such a hard push to go up to E. You have Abolics up there waiting as well. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, Abolics is going to be able to pressure up and put so much damage onto you before you even get close to him. I love the way that they have set up and played this map right now. They are playing as a singular unit. There might be 4 singular players on the map, but it's like fighting a fist, man. It's balled up and it's ready to assert itself at any given time. Great shock, by the way. That is an amazing shock, Taylor. Rocky, I mean, look at the fear. It's non-existent in Rocky. Pulls back up, gets the down, gets a second on the up A, moves up, has the Lancer fire help, and gets the third. Picture perfect. My God, Rocky, putting them down.
You know, it's funny. RR hits a nice shock. It forces Rocky up, and they wanted to get those defensive, like, you know, bunkered up players out of the way, but Rocky goes forward and only makes them that much stronger, right? You think you're nerfing him, but then you end up giving him a buff and puts him right into the fight. And like you said, no fear. That's a deadly person to deal with. And now you got Marz all over your home hill. Now, you got to be careful here. We talked about overcommitment on Harbor. That's something that a lot of teams make a mistake on. But I like the pressure. No harm, no foul, to be quite honest with you. The fact of the matter is, Marz, they're apexing a 200 mark. All they need to do is just lock in one hill. They're still in good hands. And RR has to get a break in a couple of ways, but they're looking to make good on this. Player 8 has to hold his own here. That's one down. That's going to be a couple more down. Marz is doing it. I cannot believe it, but Marz holds on. They take over another hill. Player 8 is still battling out. 1v2. He wasted some decent time, and now it's going to be even harder for Double R to get all the way over to D. Marz just locked it in.
Marz is definitely going to lock in this round 4-1. We're going to see ourselves here in just a few moments. These fights really, I mean, they're just meant for stats. They're meant to make you look good and maybe become a part of that next montage that we're going to see up on YouTube. But 2 seconds to go. Another shot in. Zoom is playing fantastic. I mean, I know at the beginning of the night, he was relatively new to my eyes, at least the name is, but he is playing like he has been here for years, and he is putting suckers in fear, man.
Ooh, that stat line. That's terrible. Rapidz, 7 kills. He's the highest one. That's not where you want to be. Morality is the lowest for the team, of course, of Marz, but he's still at 7 and 9 with only 7 deaths. So everybody almost in double-digit deaths other than Rapidz at 9, but still, that's nothing to be proud of. This is looking pretty rough. Like you said, Zoom, though, 10 and 12, 3 deaths, like leading the team. I did not expect that going into the night. Absolutely not. But, you know, it's the same thing with, like, you know, other names. Even on Papa Chalky Milk, they lose, you know, round 1. But, you know, Zeontre, I didn't even know how to pronounce his name in week 1. Come week 2, though, and I absolutely knew how to pronounce it. He plays very well. And that's what I like about the Challenger Series is we'll see familiar faces from, you know, Pro League teams in the past or just dominant Challenger teams in the past. But we'll also find those diamonds in the rough like Zoom or Zeontre who come to the forefront, and we get to learn a little bit more about them. And who knows, they could be, you know, your next big style Pro League player, much like Krabby's or Dyslexic was, as they were once not known at all. Toxiq, tough fight on E. He's going to drop Nero. He's been playing, he's had a pretty rough game, which surprises me with how well he can slay out. He's forced back. Another great start for Marz.
Marz now. There's the horn. You asked for it, Taylor.
It's about time, man. It's about, that's like the second time I've heard it, like ever, like cast, or at least for Gears 5, right? Gears 4 heard it all the time, but that right there is a blessing, and it should happen every single time you take that neutral. I don't care if you get chunked doing it. You honk that horn, brother.
You know, I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you, okay? So if you want him to honk the horn, damn it, honk the horn for my man Reflections,
like
all
a
right?
semi-truck, man. I'm over here, you know, putting my arm down like, come on, man. Just, I don't know, do the horn thing, man.
You're in the back of your parents' SUV on the way to Disney World just asking for somebody to honk their horn and scare the crap out of your father.
That's still me at 29. I don't care.
That's
man,
fine.
good hold for Marz. It's over with Colin.
I mean, we're making jokes. I know it's not good when the casters decide to make more jokes than they do about casting the gameplay. So let me get back to talking about how Maniik is going to go down. Toxiq is going to get the revive on him there. But none of that is going to matter because Marz, for 3 rounds in a row, I mean, they were just shoving him. Like, it felt that way. Like, every round, Marz was literally just putting both hands on their chest and full extension saying, I dare you to push back.
Ooh, look, that's, again, that stat line, man, is just not much good to say about it, right? It's kind of like Carnage Gaming on Harbor. Just not much good to say. I mean, it is what it is. Marz played lights out. For Harbor, at least tonight, that's 10-1. 10-1. They've only lost 1 round on that map. So it makes me excited for multiple reasons. Again, these players are playing for a spot in the relegation tournament. You look at teams that are, historically weak on Harbor. Fire and Ice is one of them, right? And that's one of our dominant teams in the Pro League currently. If you have like Marz, for example, who's great at Harbor, that's one more map in the repertoire that they can, if it slips through when they play against Fire and Ice, there's a potential they take a series off of them, right? And that's what makes me excited when I see certain teams dominate on certain team or pro teams maps where maybe they're lacking. So well done for Marz. Like I said, I eat a piece of humble pie, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely thought Double R had the advantage coming into it, but Marz, hey, they handled their business. That was a great win.
They did handle their business. They know now that they've got to go to Asylum, though. And while you said that you're a little surprised that they were able to, hold their own there and overtake RR on Harbor, I think I'm willing to say that we would both be a little taken aback. But right now, I mean, with the way that Marz is playing, I don't know if anything they do would surprise me. That's how fantastic that whole unit has played tonight, especially on their maps that we've seen them, and especially after that map number 1. I mean, Marz is looking poised and ready to possibly win this week's Challenger tournament, and I'm for one, I'm loving it.
Yeah, I don't want to get too carried away. I really don't, because now we have Asylum coming up. And how many times have we seen Double R play so well in Asylum? They haven't lost it yet since I've been casting over them, at least for the Gears Challenger series. So they're in good hands, and this is their opportunity to tie it up and send it to map number 3 on Training Grounds, which would be a fun one. I haven't seen much Training Grounds for either of these rosters. So, the last time I watched Training Grounds for Double R was when they played against Immortals. It went to round 9. They ended up getting the victory, driven, and then of course in the grand finals of week number 1, they played Training Grounds again, map 3, and it was another round 9, right? So it's not like Double R is very strong on Training Grounds. They've been, tough opponents or not, it seems as if it always goes to distance. So if you get a team that's a dominant Training Grounds team, hey, they're going to be doing okay. But man, if Marz comes through and wins Asylum, there's not much else to say other than they're the best team currently in the Gears Challenger series. Bottom line, period. So there's levels to this, man. Absolutely.
Look, there are levels to it. And one of the things that I think you can hang your hat on, though, if you're Marz, is, again, I go back to this and I hang my hat on things like this. Rocky and Abolics, I don't believe they're going to be afraid to challenge those fights. I believe they're going to put the pressure on RR. They're going to make RR win Asylum on Marz's terms. They're not going to let RR dominate them and rotate around the entire map however they wish. So this is going to be one of those make or break moments for me. It's really going to tell me a lot about this squad based on how they play Asylum, because as confident and as cocky as you have been in some of these past maps, I need to see you do it on their best map. And this is without a doubt RR's best map. So coming into it, let's see if they can hold Maniik, hold Toxiq, hold Rapidz. If they can hold those boys down and do it here on Asylum, not only does it make them the best team in Challengers, it makes them probably close enough to a Pro League team that I'm looking for them to be big time in the relegation tournament. So this is going to be a very telltale map for me.
Very well said. And that right there is the best way to put it, Colin. It's easy to win your map pick. It's easy to win a map you're strong on. Can you win a map that's the strongest for the enemy team, right? That's what will set you apart from the rest of the competition. Absolutely possible, but Double R, man, they've just been playing so very well. But hey, great start it seems for Marz. Look at Rocky, no care in the world. You mentioned Fearless. Well, he pushed straight through, gets a chunk on the 1, but now Abolics is kind of by himself, and he's going to get finished off. So despite an early start for Marz, Double R answers right back.
Now you see Morality. He's trying to find out where he can rotate to. He can feel the pressure coming toward his home hill, so he's going to pull back a little bit and try to get inside the building and get a little bit safer than where he was just a moment ago up toward that entrance. See, Abolics now, bottom train track side of the map. My God, Colin, now Maniik gets the shot over that picnic table. He's going to get that kill as well. And this is the thing that I was worried about. RR is able to push back. As good as Marz played, and I kept saying they were pushing around RR, RR said, we know every angle, we know every cover. We've probably played Asylum 452 billion times, and it is showing right now. They've got 2 dead down at the B hill. They've still got their home hill. They're up by about 20 to 30 points, or excuse me, 40 to 50 points now. They got that second hill back in their favor. Dakota's going to try to fly across the entrance, but he's going to get caught out. And I believe this first round is already looking and sitting pretty for RR.
I guess my biggest thing with the Abolics at this point is like, why is he making that push, right? What is he wanting to accomplish? He wins a 1v, let's say he wins that first 1v1. Okay, you're not going to get the decap because you have numbers from RR that's going to be able to, you know, Lancer you out, Nasher you out. It's just a matter of like, it was more of a desperation push for me than anything else. And I don't know if he should have made that push because he still could have waited. At the end of the day, Double R is still going to have a commanding lead in points, but it makes more sense to gather your numbers and be a little bit more calculated. But I say that, oh no, I was about to set that up. Abolics, if he wins that fight versus Maniik, like, you know, there's a chance because you look at the other end of the map, 4 and 5, Morality and Zoom, they're locking in Charlie. Still, their opportunity's still there. There it is. Player 3 takes down Maniik. So Maniik is gone. C is going to be broken. There's still a chance here, Colin, for Marz.
3v2 at the home hill of RR, and you see Marz get 2v2 now. No, Zoom's about to get that revive, and he gets the shot. Oh my God, did it flip on its head? The comebacker, baby, don't let it happen. Not like this, TCH, all that and a bag of potato chips. Oh my God. Like, and it was a desperation push, and it actually turns out it does exactly what, oh, I want to say it's Morality is playing as Dizzy. I'll be able to tell you for certain in a hot second. Morality pushed through the mid lane of the map, straight through the middle of the map. He pushes through Pavilion, gets onto the baby step side of RR, Lancers, and then downs a player outside of admin, which opened up the 90-degree for them outside of admin, which allowed his teammates to get the shots on and get the kills and then begin the pressure of that triple cap domination. I believe Dakota was doing the same thing. He tried to push up. He gets that kill. It forces members of RR back toward the home. It didn't work out for him, but it hell sure worked out for his teammates. And right now, Marz has got to be feeling great because they definitely just stole a round.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they stole that, took that to the bank. Well done. But can they do it again, right? Sometimes stealing rounds like that, it's impressive, it's fun to watch, but it doesn't show consistency. Double R, for the most part, was controlling that round, and they let it go. So still, I think Double R has a little bit more composure on this map, but we'll definitely, I guess composure is not the word, as they just let that one go. I think more control than anything, right? So looks like they're wanting to lock this in. They're mad. They're angry. And I don't blame them, man. Double R going in for that domination. Zoom, last up. They know where he can go, and that's going to be it. That's an answer back. That's an answer Double R needed.
That's a great round for them. Less than a minute into the round, they get the triple cap domination.
You were deep in thought, my guy.
Well, I'm trying to. One of the things that went wrong for Marz in that round was they pushed up to the middle tombstone, and I'm trying to think of how to break this down for everybody to understand. If you see where that B hill is, not the vertical cover, but the horizontal cover, I refer to that as tombstone. Somebody pushes up into tombstone. The player for RR that was down basically right above where the word tracks is written has a free Lancer on him the entire time he pushed in, which forces him back 2 covers away from the position he wanted to take. And you basically create this massive opening. It was a massive gash that they just dropped Salt into for a few seconds. So that over-aggression from Marz came back to bite him in the butt in that round. And I was trying to think of how to break that down, because to me, that was all it was literally they pushed up a little too far. They got too big for their britches.
Great insight. And see, it's commentary like that, right? I think the audience needs to know, especially from a competitive standpoint, that shows the severity. Like, if you make some mistakes or don't set up properly, like, it can genuinely cost you the round. It really causes a snowball effect, if you will. That's exactly what the case was. Marz, great start. This is a start that we saw in round 1. Nobody's going to stay on B, though. They want to get Maniik out of the way. Front train comes in. B absolutely in their grasp. Now, on the other side now, you've got Rapidz. He's going to be in a fight on the streets versus Morality, but there's no reason for them to push up. They've got what they wanted. They've got what they needed. Count your numbers and allow Double R now to set up and try and retake a hill. Great job for Marz. See if they can hold it.
Now Marz, where's the push going to come from? Middle map, there's one. So 1-1-2. they're going to have to get player 8 inside the pavilion to get the angle down there. And he's not going to get there very easily because Rocky's just waiting for him to move. As soon as he makes any step, he's going to get absolutely blasted with a Lancer. There's the rotation down. There's the flashes out. Can they get any downs here? They do end up coming away with a down on Toxiq. I'm not sure if they can pick him up. Nero, though, is caught between a rock and a hard place. You see the Lancer over the top, and Zoom tries to go for the long-range hipfire down. Doesn't find that. Dakota finds one, bounces around. I don't know if Zoom hit him any with that shot, but Dakota's going to find a second. Zoom is going to sacrifice his life. And okay, all right. Oh, there. Yep, maybe. Oh, nope, he's not going to win. He's not going to get that third one just yet. He's going to have to wait for help. A whole lot of flash, a whole lot of dash, and what it sets up is a triple cap domination possibly coming down on you. And that's a good kill by Maniik.
That's a great kill. That's a great elimination. Luckily, player 3 is able to answer back. That's Rocky. So now Double R, they've got to get desperate. That's why you see Rapidz kind of putting himself out there. He's by himself. Front train's absolutely going to benefit Marz in this situation. Player 8 is going to try and stay there, but he's going to allow player 9, Nero, to kind of join into the mix. Double R, they know they can't win just on home hills alone, so they can battle for this as much as they want. What they're going to try and do is take down Marz off of the respawn and then collapse down onto Bravo. But I like the fact that, you know, Marz, they understand this. They're going to keep player 5 and player 3 over there. They're not going to overcommit, over-rotate, and try and lock in A. Matter of fact, Dakota, he's got it all by himself. Well done from Marz. They're going to take round number 3 and lead 2-1.
Beautiful job by Marz in that round. And one of the things that I thought might come back to bite him was there in the mid-round. Abolics found himself in a pretty bad spot when Zoom went down, but it was a fantastic rotation, a secondary rotation over there to try to pressure up the triple cap domination. So beautiful job there. I really do enjoy when I see teammates understand the situation well enough. And one of the things that I can't stress enough is if you know, as good as Zoom has played all night, as much as he popped off in the last round, Zoom knew, he said, all right, look, right here, right now, Abolics is the man with the plan. I got to get that re-off on him. Yeah. He sacrifices himself to the gods, and it ends up paying off. And that's the kind of teammates you need in life.
Well, it doesn't surprise you. I know it doesn't. Like, you're always praising Abolics, right, and how good he is and how well he plays, right? And he continues to do so. Again, this is a roster that very easily, minus Zoom, right, just added Lanarchy, who could have been a pro league team. They fell just a bit short, being beat out by Remedy. So Marz, talented roster. They really are. Zoom added in. I'm not against it. Again, he's been playing very, very well tonight. And he may not be Lanarchy, but honestly, he doesn't have to be. He's Zoom, and he's doing exactly what he needs to. Ooh, Rocky, he's got a lot of pressure. Still alive. I can't believe this, and he's going to get out. Great pickup from Abolics. We were just highlighting him, and Abolics gets that chip damage from the back. Great plays even on streets. Morality picking off one. The trade on Nero, that's fine. The break is still there. What a round for Marz.
Absolutely fantastic. A couple seconds away from going up 3-1. The flash is going to come out. It's going to get the... I need to get the stun. Round was over, 49 seconds. Beautiful job. They go for the up A, and it's not going to even get them back into that hill. 49 seconds again, and I'm just trying to take a look, and I really can't find... I mean, other than the fact that they got 3 dudes sitting on 1 kill, RR has not found a way to beat this early aggression from Marz. Marz keeps finding a way to get the extra damage into the fight early, so it forces somebody from RR back, and then whoever comes down that next lane, the second lane of the train tracks, I think it's Zoom. I mean, it's a fantastic job. They have put all the pressure in the world, which is what I wanted to see a team like Papachaki Milk do on this map, but I mean,
exactly.
Without a doubt, Marz is not giving them any room to breathe.
Yeah, because you can really tell in that Papachaki Milk matchup, obviously playing passive, playing scared, but when they turned up the heat and they just didn't care, got a bit loose, as you were saying, and pushed up, like, they were taking the kills. They were taking the fight to RR, and they were winning the majority of the time. And I think that's where Marz is capitalizing. They're not scared to push up, much like Papachaki Milk was, right? They will push up if they need to. Again, that right there. They know they're battling against an instant. They don't care. They go in, they capitalize, they take E, and now that pushes RR to try and make some magic happen. Now, Toxiq on the flank, he's been spotted. Now it's up to keep them in mind. They don't. Toxiq gets 1 kill. He's finished off, but it allowed enough time for Double R to retake the neutral. Well done from Toxiq. He got the job done.
Rocky's got his shotty out. They know he's inside of the entrance. Good wide angle out of him. Morality rolls up, gets the next shot on. Beautiful job there with a little side roll. Love this here. They're going to be going in for this next fight. They actually get the decap. Morality's going to get picked up very quickly. They can double cap this. They can stack on top of each other, get team revives. They see Zoom's actually gone all the way over to the F hill. He's pressuring from the backside, which, I mean, this is a brilliant move. He knows he's in no man's land, even if he stays at the home hill. So he's going to take one person with him. He makes sure that it's going to be 3-3, that his team doesn't have to worry about the extra man in the fight. That is a veteran play by Zoom. That is brilliant, in my opinion. He knows he can even the odds, and he does it to perfection.
I mean, I'm telling you, I can't speak highly enough of him. He's just been playing so very well tonight. I'm impressed, and I cannot wait to watch him in future weeks, regardless of Marz wins or not, but they're well on track to doing so. Double R struggling, without question. Zoom, though, now is going to be in a 1v1 down low against, I believe that's going to be Nero. He's going to have some help, actually. But the fight on E, though, looks as if it's going towards Double R. So now it's very important to get Nero out, because now you know the rest of the troops from RR are coming into play. And you see them. They're actually going to beeline out. They saw Nero drop off. They knew at that point in time it was going to be a 2v2. They already got the neutral, and they said, look, let's not overcommit here and put ourselves in a bad situation. So well done for them to pull that audible. Now Marz, they've got to push in. They've got to try and take E, because Swarm, Double R, they've got the win condition.
Got him.
They do have the win condition, 45 seconds to go. Dakota's going to pull up. He's got flash in his hand. No smoke grenades. They're not trying to stop. There's the extra incendiary. Poor Morality had to take, oh my God, Morality. I'm sorry, man. Abolics just shot you. I hate to break it to you, but he did. Teammate shot you, brother. Now you see the shock out trying to stop him from coming back across the top. Dakota with a huge shot. I believe they have a down up top of the map, and if they can get this kill, oh my God, they get the kill. They still get the kill, but there's the quick revive out by the opposite side. RR got that player from the F hill up top. It's going to be a 2v2 with a third player coming off a respawn. Morality is down. Rapidz is down.
Has to go huge.
No, he's not going to. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, he's doing it. He's doing it. Oh,
no,
come on. You got to take down Rapidz. 2, player 3. Where you at? Rocky gets it. But there's another player. Double R unrelenting. Now Abolics going to push in. Oh my gosh. Zoom did everything he could. Where was Rocky in that moment? Zoom kind of committed his life. Rocky should have absolutely picked up that kill. He doesn't. That fight would have decided the round, and we could easily be looking at a 4-1 lead for the side of Marz. But instead, that fight doesn't go to the way of Marz. Double R capitalizes. They take it because they just were constant numbers coming in, pouring in, and winning that fight on E. Well done. 2-3, that much closer to tying it up.
Now I'm pretty sure we're going to see Shocks and Ensign. Oh, Retro and Ensign, and then Shock and Ensign over here. Let me see you go from Boltok. Let me see you upgrade the Boltok. Come on. Go ahead and do it, Dakota. I know you want to do it.
And a drop shot goes to Pavilion.
If it goes drop shot, I'm gonna lose it.
We know what's happening, man. It would just be wild. That was the case.
Have to go Retro first, so they're making their way to that other utility grenade. This is the interesting thing, though, is that they have the Shock early and the Retro late, whereas it's flipped on the opposite side. RR gets the Retro early, which I think is what they're going to try to use. They're going to try to get Nero into a position where he can just pound away at whoever tries to get in that hill with the Retro Lancer. And you see now, everybody's stacking up. It's going to come down to if that incendiary can get placed perfectly enough. There's a smoke to block the eyesight.
Ooh, nice.
Perfect. I mean, that's the way to shut it down, RR.
100%. Toxiq doesn't want to push in just yet. Nero, though, with that Retro, come on. You're not going to get anywhere with it, especially with the stuns being out. That's going to be a hill for Double R. Curious if Zoom goes for the OE again. He's going to be met by Rapidz, so most likely he's going to deter him from pushing through. He doesn't want to take that 1v1. It's just not worth it, to be honest with you. You're not gaining a lot of value. At most, you're getting the decap. You're going to see Double R rotate back. So this is going to be the big fight here. Marz is going to have to try and pressure RR back. That shock is there. I think there's a little bit of pixel to get in on E, or excuse me, get in there and maybe get the decap, but it's not worth it with Nero in that position. Again, he has that Retro. It's going to hurt. But Marz, they're going to push, and you already know it.
I mean, they
Just
got
waiting
3
for that
people. They
moment to
better
happen.
push somebody because they got 3 people up there. I don't know what they're going to do unless Zoom decides to take the 1v1 down low and try to put pressure down on the bottom side of the map. Rocky's going to go down. Double Lancered out. Nero, beautiful job there with the Retro. Now Morality tries to push up. Toxiq is going to get pulled up on. Dakota gets that second shot on. They get the next down. They're going to get a bunch of kills. They're going to try to pressure over to D and get a decap. And look at the way that Zoom now is backed up and decided to play defense. I love this. This is beautiful. They're going to send the player off a respawn Rocky over to the E hill to pressure the triple cap domination. They have the D kill cap. That means you have to get in it and stay in it long enough to get the decap going. And that means you're going to be like fish in a barrel for just a hot minute.
Zoom, you got to hit those, man. That would have been pretty amazing if you take those shots, but he misses. Now you're going to see Double R pushing them back. Abolics, though, hits some great shots. One shot away from taking a Rapidz, and Rapidz gets him. Yeah, you know, Zoom, as much praise as I get him, and again, he plays phenomenally well. He missed those first couple of shots. Now, Rocky could be the hero. That's going to be one player down. Toxiq gone. He's going to go ahead and dip out. Zoom's going to take his spot, but Zoom needs to back up. He needs to stay with Rocky and gets there just in time to be picked up. RR is going to commit to this. If right now, if Zoom and Rocky can hold, oh, great shock. Well done, Marz. They're gonna have a command lead.
Rocky's stuck in the corner. Rocky's like,
but
hey man, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. But now I'm stuck here, brother. I'm stuck right here. Nero's got a 3v1. Here comes the second player. Good first shot on. He will get the chunk, but the double down comes through. Now you see Toxiq is going to get killed off as well. The last player for RR is going to bounce around, but it's not going to mean too much. Down to 5 seconds. Marz is 1 round away from not only beating RR on clearly their best map, but 2-0ing RR, who was probably the most stout team we've seen in challenges for the last couple of weeks. This is a very scary situation for RR, and I think this is probably a situation that they're not very used to in these last few weeks. They are not used to being behind the 8-ball. They are now 1 round away from being eliminated and losing this tournament. Whereas Marz, I mean, they got a couple of rounds to play with. They even got a whole another map that they could play with if they lose 3 rounds in a row. But I doubt they want to do that. I'm pretty sure they want to finish it right here, right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not probably the most stout team. They are the most stout team coming into week 2, without question. They're the defending champions, right? So Marz beating RR here would be massive. Do they take first place in the standings? I don't think so, but they'll be just behind in second. But I think more importantly, they'll show that Double R, look, they could still be one of the best teams in the Challenger Series. They're not going to dethrone them yet because, again, Marz needs to win another championship after that and take over first place. But, again, it shows that RR, back to the drawing board, they can't take things for granted. There are teams that can absolutely challenge them. Great push straight through streets. Zoom's last one alive, and RR might get a quick round.
RR is trying their best to get a quick round. I don't believe they're going to be able to get it just yet. They're going to be pressuring up. There's the flashes are going to come out in just a second. Actually, they back off of it. They're going to try to get another set of slays right here, right now. But, oh, my God, Morality gets 1. They've got 2 more in front of them. All 3 of them are right there, though. There's 2 downs. Oh, my God, Rapidz, you need to turn around and try to revive somebody, or you need to tuck tail and roll.
Oh, my gosh. Only to get chunked? No, I don't care. Oh. Morality played out of his mind right there. He still got 2 players down and avoid the train. I thought I was watching James Bond or Jason Bourne at that moment. Morality out of your mind. So, Double R, what do? They overcommit. They don't throw the stuns out. Like you said, they try to get a series of eliminations coming off the spawn for Double R, or it should be for Marz. But now Marz back in the driver's seat. They may not have the lead, but it's going to be tough for Double R to push them back. Abolics, he's not going to slow down. So many utilities. Snub is out. Maniik is gone. And now Marz, they're taking the aggression to Double R, and they're not slowing down.
I'm not going to lie to you. The train conductor made me tinkle a little bit, all right? I might have to step away from the mic for just a moment. I mean, that was the best. That better be on the highlight reel. I'm going to go ahead and say it. That thing was fantastic to see him just make it by in the blink of an eye. But ladies and gentlemen, oh, he goes for the retro charge and misses it by a couple of feet. Oh, no. They are dominating them at their home. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to wrap things up with a nice little bow. 5-2.
Wow.
Marz not only beats RR on their best map, they 2-0 the defending champions, and Dakota's got a message for them, courtesy of Damon Baird.
Hey, look, 10-3 round count. That's a 2-0, man. That 2-0, 10-3 round count. You come through on Asylum, and like you said, you beat Double R on their best map, the one that no one's been able to touch them. Like, straight up, no one has been able to touch this roster on Asylum, and they beat them 5-2. Dominating fashion, very well done. And again, it could have even been 5-1. I think there was a round in there that kind of slipped through their fingertips. I can't say anything negative. Again, I'll say it like I said. I'm eating a slice of humble pie. Marz, the best, or at least the better team tonight. Again, can't say they're the best team yet. I can't. They win 1 week. They still have to win the next week or overpass Double R, who is still going to be in first place in the overall standings. But without question, I think we have a nice little battle here between these 2 dominant teams, and I can't wait to see next week.
See, I think it also lends itself to a point I made earlier. We saw RR have resilience after a very tough map 1 loss. What we didn't see out of them was resilience going down in map 2. Because earlier, they dominated map 2. They didn't have to show resilience in that second map. They come to Asylum, they come to a second map, and Marz doesn't let their foot off the gas. They go back up on map number 2, and they go up big. I wanted to see where the wall for this team was, and RR has kind of shown their hand on where their wall is. And I want to see them come back next week stronger and better and more focused than ever. But right now, I mean, Marz, 2 things stand out to me. When they've needed somebody to make a big highlight reel play, if somebody had to clutch up, get a shot here, land a shot there, all 4 players were able to do that. But the thing that makes them scary is that all 4 players never, oh my, in the slow-mo? Hit him with the slow-mo? Yo, who was it? Who was it? Was it Meerkat hit him with a slow-mo? Oh my God, that thing was dancing, baby. Oh my, put on my blue suede shoes. I'm gonna go dancing to that highlight later. But all 4 players, they can make their own highlight reels. The thing that impresses me more about Marz is that they never wanted to do that. They wanted all 4 players to act like a singular unit, and that is the best and most classic, pure form of Gears esports you can ever ask for.
Now, what have we also learned too? We learned Double R can be beat on Asylum, right? This roster can beat them on their best map. They also have Harbor in the bag too, because, you know, Harbor was a bit shaky against Carnage Gaming again. I don't think Carnage Gaming played that well. They win that 5-0, but then again, they were able to come through and win, what, 5-1 on Harbor versus defending champs of Double R. So that shows me one of 2 things. You know, Double R, their Harbor gameplay, they've lost that twice tonight. Once 5-3, once 5-1. That's a map that should be in every rotation if they can sneak it through for the enemy team. And more importantly, I think that's a map that just needs to go away. But I think their auto ban might be Vaskar too. So you might have 2 maps that they really struggle on. But that's, you know, for time to tell. I genuinely have no idea how good Double R is on Vaskar. But, it just comes to show you, man, Marz, they've got a lot going for them. Their Harbor gameplay is great. Their overall gameplay on Asylum is phenomenal. Even earlier, man, Vaskar 5-2 victory over Carnage Gaming. They can take that map. I think they're becoming a very well-rounded team. And 2, look, Zoom played so well tonight, and we've been highlighting him all night. We didn't know much about him, but now we do. Chad was saying he doesn't miss shots, and really he doesn't, right? So great addition to this roster, replacing Lanarchy. Very excited to see the future of this roster.
It was a fantastic job. I can't wait to see how this roster continues forward, especially probably coming back next week. We're going to get to see if they make a similar run through the bracket as they made this week. And the only way to see what kind of run they made through the bracket this week is to pull that sucker up for one last time for everybody at home to see. That's a beautiful bracket right there. My God, that graphic is gorgeous. Thank you, UMG Gamer, for putting that together. But you can see Marz 2-0, 2-1, 2-0. Carnage gave him more of a shot than RR, but that's just going to tell me that you're going to see a lot more teams try to pick District against Marz, and you're going to see a lot more teams try not to get Harbor or Asylum on the menu for the night against Marz. But that team, I think that's the scariest thing about them, is that if they can actually expound upon their map pool, if they can widen that just by 1, maybe even 2 maps, if they can get 1 more map in their rotation that's on the level of a Harbor and Asylum, Marz might be damn near unstoppable in challengers.